Well, I guess I'll turn on the recording. It's a little bit late. I didn't know that this match would shake up like it did, but yeah, almost got my Death Star. I think this is the third or fourth time. 10 kills. You know, doing the thing, sneaking behind the enemy lines on polar, 1v1ing each of my kills, basically. You know, good stuff. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know. I think I took a screenshot of my like 1100 some odd damage on my Arctic Cheetah from last week, but I never recorded it. So this is it. Just gonna put this on there. Yeah, you know, Cheetah's been nerfed. You have to play a lot more conservative now. I can't really 1v1 as well as I used to because some mechs just, I mean, their heat efficiency is just too much. Like, I can be pinpoint with my damage, but it doesn't matter when they throw 3 times as much damage back at me as I'm throwing out. It doesn't matter how good of a shot I am. I'm just gonna get destroyed eventually. Not to mention more armor. So, yeah. Welcome back, Mech Warriors. So, you should have just seen the clip with me almost getting Death Star on the Arctic Cheetah on my alt account, and then either 1100 or 1200 damage match, something like that. Once again on this Arctic Cheetah on my alt account. So, I want to talk a little bit real quick about the playstyle changes that have happened with lights since the scale change and then the requirkening of light mechs. So basically, with the scale change, a lot of light mechs got bigger, which is obviously not good. It's easier to pinpoint damage on specific components now, so not good, but necessary. You know, mechs have to be proportional. That's just how it has to be, volumetrically or however else they decide to do it. The mechs are impossible to balance if, you know, an Arctic Cheetah is the size of a 15-tonner. It's just ridiculous. You have to actually size them correctly. The other thing with the removal of the quirks on the Arctic Cheetah, I mean, this thing used to have like ER, burn time, heat gen, structure, excel, decel, turn rate, and now it's just left with this measly 5% turn rate. And that's not to say the mech's useless or garbage or anything like that. Like, honestly, the mech's still fine. Obviously, you can see it. It still performs well. The pilot just has to be really on point. You can't mess around anymore. And basically, going back to the playstyle change, I found, I don't know if you guys can see, I just dropped the ECM completely off my Arctic Cheetahs. I'll explain to you real quick why. Basically, what I found is that because lights are bigger, they're a lot clumsier too. A lot of them lost their quirks, like the Locust, I think, got nerfed too. So they're a lot clumsier. And what I found is that the old school way of playing lights early on in the match, trying to find stragglers, isolated mechs, careless pilots, etc., it doesn't work anymore, because no matter how good you are at turn and burn, like fighter jet pilots like to say, no matter how good you are at that stuff, the enemy mech is going to put guns on you. It's not possible anymore to dance around them and cool off. Like, basically, when you went hard on an enemy mech, let's say it was a direwolf, there was always a point in time where, unless you got really good shots in, there's always a point in time where you're just going to start cooking, because you're a light mech and you don't have the heat sinks of a big mech. You just overheat quick. That's just what it comes down to. And there's always a point in time where you need to reset the fight, usually. And before you could do that, you could, if not stay behind them, you could at least stay off on their side, so they could only hit you if they were really good pilots that had free look enabled, and they could look to the side and pop you with the arm weapons, but you're not eating a full alpha from their full complement. And that's not possible anymore, because the mechs got nerfed. They're not as agile. They're going to put guns on you, and you're not going to be able to reset the fight to cool down. And because a lot of times, I mean, you're a light mech. 3/4 of the field is heavier than you are. That's just how it is. So the chances are that you're going to run into something heavier if you go hard early, even if you find it isolated. Chances are it's going to be a lot heavier than you are, with more weapons, more heat sinks, more armor. So because you take a lot more damage now in a 1v1 encounter, I've changed my playstyle to be a little bit more conservative. So instead of extending really far into the enemy lines, I'm staying with the group more, and I'm looking for enemy lights that come in to intercept them, and then I'm helping my team poke as best I can when the melee starts. Sometimes on certain maps, you know, it's all long range sniping. That's just how the match plays out, and it's really hard. That's when you gotta still go out there and do your thing and go back hunting, basically. But for the most part, I play very conservative now compared to how I used to. And like I said, because I'm no longer looking for that 1v1 early engagement to give my team a quick 1-mech lead, I just got rid of the ECM entirely and added another double heatsink because it helps, obviously, with damage. Clearly the weakness of most light mech builds. And yeah, that's basically what it's come down to, you guys. I just wanted to address the change in playstyle. I hope you give it some thought and try to apply it yourselves and see what kind of results you get. Like I said, for me, it's gotten to the point where I just took the ECM off. I still go back hunting. Like, it's all very situational, obviously. If I sense that I can do it, I'm still going to jump at the opportunity to give my team a quick couple mechs lead or distract the enemy, squirrel them, you know. Like I said, using cover is paramount. We need to do that. My former roommate taught me a lot about playing light mechs, and one of the phrases he always used to say is ECM is a crutch for lights. If you need ECM, you're a bad light pilot, which is absolutely true. Using terrain, masking your approach, being patient, observing the enemy, those are all the fundamental skills of a light pilot. ECM is a crutch. So you can still back hunt without it. You just have to be on point, like I said at the start of the video. Alright guys, that pretty much covers everything I wanted to talk about. I hope you haven't given up on playing your lights. You know, it's I love the weight class myself. Personally, I find it very engaging to play. And yeah, don't give up on them. You just have to adapt and overcome, come up with new strategies, new play styles, maybe new builds, you know, and keep on keeping on. Alright guys, until next time, happy hunting. Peace.